The NBA announced, like a few weeks ago that they were going to get involved in sort of top prospects in high school. And they didn't say they were going to kill the one-and-done rule, but I think we all know that that's the direction that we're headed in. But there was another sort of subtle announcement about the NBA getting involved with youth leagues around the country, and they're suggesting certain changes, which I find interesting. They're suggesting lower rims for younger players, and they're suggesting eliminating the three-point shot for younger players as well. I think there's been a lot of tongue-in-cheek jokes about how the three-point shot is ruining the game and young players are trying to shoot threes before they're ready. And I know that you and I have for a long time spoken to microphones about the standardization of the game of basketball. Consistent shot clocks, consistent three-point lines, and consistent court sizes. What do you think about this idea of the NBA instituting suggestions of lower rims and elimination of the three-point line for younger players?
I'm going to use a word I don't use very often. I hate it.
Really?
Because if the goal for young people is to play the game they love, and the dream for these same young people is to make it to the ultimate level, in particular the NBA, the professional ranks, to get paid to play the sport that they love, or internationally, the goal should be to have them compete on a level playing field throughout each trajectory of their career, like you do with international prospects. We see the Greek Freak. We see Porzingis. Back in the day, Dirk. The list goes on and on of players, Tony Parker, that Manu Ginobili, who played international pro basketball while they were teenagers, were not, quote unquote, forced to play collegiate basketball, entered the draft, and their rules internationally were pretty much in sync. The change happened subtly once you got to the NBA. Like maybe you can't goaltend when the ball's above the rim. Maybe the lane line is a little bit different and the size of it is a little bit thinner. But for the most part, the rules were in concert when they play internationally. When you play as an American basketball player in high school, the time of the game is different. Quarters versus halves are different. The three-point line is different. The ball is different. There are only 8 states approximately that use a shot clock in high school basketball. That's nomadic. Now you get to college, the same thing takes place. Different number of fouls. First half, second half. The men's and the women's rules are different. The three-point line is different. I could go on and on and on. So now when you get to the pros, you have to decompress everything you learned at the first 2 levels and learn how to play pro basketball. Oh, wow, the three-point line is a really far shot. Maybe I should start practicing shooting this. That should not start to take place once you got into your late teens and early 20s. This is something that should be happening from day one. Don't lower the hoop. If young people want to lower hoop, they can play on the Nerf one. They can do like I did when I was young, play on a milk crate. They can also play on a hanger and put it at the top of a door. That's what you do when you're young. Don't lower the hoop. Up the expectations of young people in playing the game.
And I mean, I think that they're focused on, younger folks and they're, 12-year-olds and 11-year-olds. But my thing about eliminating the three-point line doesn't make sense to me. I feel like there's no age at which you shouldn't be smart enough to know whether or not you can make a three-point shot. I'm 40 years old and I know I can't make a three-point shot. So I won't even shoot it in pickup. I just feel like eliminating the three-point shot isn't going to do anything for anybody. It's coaching people to understand that they should shoot shots that they have a high percentage of making. But we'll see.
And let me get this right. I want to watch a high school game where there's no shot clock and no three-point game.
No, we're not talking about high school.
Okay. What does that look like, 21-19?
We're not talking about high school, Jalen.
What about...
Okay. Go ahead.
If you're not talking about high school, then what age are you talking about? Didn't you say 12 or 13?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's elementary and middle school, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a young player with a different three-point line or no three-point line. So now you're not going to play with a line in elementary school and middle school, and now you have one in high school?
It doesn't make sense. I'm with you. I want the line there when you're 8 years
Correct.
old. I think the line should always be there.
And by the way, this won't stop people from walking in the gym and seeing how far they can shoot a basketball. That's never going to change.
No.
People are going to always shoot from deep. Always.
And
whether it's
also,
a three-point line or not.
Where do you think all these rec centers around the world are going to get money to lower the rims? You know what I mean? Like when you see, like when you go to a gym and they've got an 8-foot hoop, which is, you know, that you can see that's around, you know, that's helpful for younger kids that want to get the ball up towards the rim. But those are few and far between, and they're pretty much not used by adults. We'll see how that goes.